Very recently, on June the 12th, there was a real situation, apparently, for those who were watching NASA TV at that time. That was happening on the ISS.
5 minutes out. Okay, yes. So then, thank you for clarification. So if we could get Commander back in his suit, get it sealed, and step into procedure 5.180 for suited hyperbaric treatment, Section 3 for oxygen post-splashdown, that would be my recommendation.
It's, of course, a communication between the flight surgeon, which is the doctor responsible for the health of the astronauts on board, and other people, supposedly astronauts, that are going to physically take care of these patients. So we are talking about a commander that has an issue, and hyperbaric treatment is needed by using his spacesuit. Of course, decompression sickness is a serious condition that can happen in spaceflight, and that happens when there's a transition between two areas with very different pressures, and that's too quick. When that happens, a hyperbaric chamber is needed. Of course, there's no hyperbaric chamber in space, but they can use a spacesuit as a hyperbaric chamber, since pressure can be regulated and the astronaut can be completely isolated from the rest of the world. In this case, they mention the commander. They don't say what the patient's name is, they just say the commander.
Copy. Understand that this is a best effort treatment, and so whatever you can do is going to be better than doing nothing. And just as an FYI, prior to sealing, closing the visor and pressurizing the suit, I would like you to check his pulse one more time. How copy?
Again, the situation sounds really serious here, because before sealing the visor and closing down the suit, basically she wants them to check his pulse again.
Perfect. So yes, then I would like you to have 100% O2 flowing via mask while you get the suit on. Prior to closing the visor and pressurizing, I'd like you to do a pulse check one more time, and then step into 5.180, Section 3.
Of course, they're trying to follow a pre-established procedure that's supposed to be treating these type of problems. And the point is to try to get as much oxygen flow to the patient while they do the operations with the spacesuit.
Is there a way that the mask can be attached? So is there a way that we could get the suit over the head, have the visor open, and put the mask at least close to his face while you finish sealing up the suit, or is that not feasible? Well, I think at this point, because the hypobaric exposure is the big problem, and given his exam, I am concerned that there are some severe DCS hits, and so I would recommend trying to get him in the suit as soon as possible and giving oxygen as best as able during that process. But the best thing would be to get him in the suit ASAP.
Again, we perceive the seriousness of the situation as soon as possible, get him in the suit. She mentions severe symptoms, she mentions other exams, so it's a pretty complicated situation. At this point, the social media, people watching NASA TV got really, really alarmed by what was going on.
And sis, we are okay to deprivatize at this time. Just as a FYI for you, I am still about 1 hour out from MCCX.
In this segment, we understand that the flight surgeon is not at the control center at that point, supposedly driving or maybe somewhere else, and the control center is MCCX, that's Mission Control Center X as in SpaceX. So we have some sort of geolocation where this is happening. Anyway, what NASA did right after this, they published a statement saying it was a big mistake, it was just a simulation. This didn't happen, the crew was perfectly healthy, and by the way, they were sleeping at that time, and this was just a simulation that was a big mistake to have broadcast on NASA TV. So that was a great relief for everybody, but it was pretty unnerving for people who were watching NASA TV at that time or following social media.